But like I said, now The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is a board of director for the WWE and interjected himself in his main event. And there was backlash from a lot of the fans. And this is the point where I talk about fandom. Fandom, or being a fanatic, is dangerous because not only did they tweet and leave comments on YouTube posting and Instagrams and Twitter postings on him saying the fans didn't want him in the match. They want Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in the match. The fans took a left turn. And like I said, his daughter is also now a developing professional wrestler in their quote unquote minor leagues, or the development territory that's still associated with the WWE, called NXT. She doesn't go by her last name. She goes by a different name, but everybody knows that's The Rock's daughter. And they go into her DMs and her Twitter page and her Instagram page and do death threats. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a fan of professional wrestling. And there have been a lot of times where they have done something that I'm just like, that's not the story that I want to see. Why are you not listening to us? That's not what we want to see. And you get frustrated, and I get it, because if you're a fan of something, you want to see, like a television show or movie, you want to see it play out a certain way. You don't want to be disappointed at the end. I get that, but to threaten his daughter, who one has no interest in what's going on, she's not connected to it anyway, aside from the fact that The Rock is her father, and to give her death threats like she has some type of control over any of the production or writing of the storyline or anything like that, is absolutely crazy. And this isn't the only example of athletes or entertainers, musicians, artists, or anything getting death threats from fans. I'm scared to death of what's going to come Taylor Swift's direction when the supposed situation happens where she's going to endorse Joe Biden. And if you've been paying attention to conservative media, they've been all on her because they know that she is more than likely, like the last election, going to support Joe Biden for re-election because she has a following, right? Her fans, the Swifties, are intense, and she's culturally extremely relevant to the larger scope of society, because she has masses that follow her. And when she comes out and pretty much gives that endorsement to Joe Biden somehow, some way, they're predicting that it's going to happen sometime around this Super Bowl. I feel for her and the backlash that she's going to get. She's going to get death threats. Politicians get death threats all the time for bills that's being written because everything is so toxic. Fandom isn't just for entertainment. Fandom is politicians. Don't get anything twisted. Donald Trump has fans. They're fanatics about him. See no wrong, do no wrong in anything that he ever does. That blind type of admiration is dangerous, extremely dangerous. But we've not only seen this in politicians and entertainers, we've seen it for causes, right? There have been fans of the pro-life or pro-right movement, and we know that there have been people that have attacked doctors from the pro-life movement, that have shot and killed doctors for the pro-life movement, which is weird because you're pro-life, but you will kill a doctor so that they don't perform abortions. The contradiction is beyond me. The hypocrisy is beyond me. But you do what you do, boo boo. I don't really get it in any way. But like I said, fanaticism can be extremely dangerous. And for those people that are out there listening, there's nothing wrong with being passionate about something. Just make sure that your passion doesn't make you lose yourself. Don't lose yourself in that passion. And a lot of people do that. So for all the people that are going to be watching the Super Bowl, for all the people that pay attention to professional wrestling, for all the television shows that you love, like the Game of Thrones and Sopranos and The Wire, even though those shows have long since passed, for those musicians that you love, for the actors and the movies and the Harry Potter and the Lord of the Ring fans that are out there, that love their IP, that's intellectual property. For those people that don't understand, IP is a major thing in content. Content is television, movies, music. IP, Harry Potter is an IP. Lord of the Rings is an IP. When you have the spinoffs of that, I don't know what they are because I don't pay attention to those movies or shows. But when you have spinoffs of that, those are IP. There's a lot of artists, movie producers, directors, writers who are getting agitated that there's no more original IP anymore. That the only way, there's no originality anymore. The only way that you can get things done is by doing IP. And actually, when you think about it, going back to my original point of The Rock is an IP. He's a huge IP. You have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's going to come to your wrestling event and make it bigger than it already was. And make no mistake about it, they did a press conference a Thursday last week, and The Rock was out there, Roman Reigns was out there, Cody Rhodes was out there, another wrestler, Seth Rollins, was out there. A press conference for Wrestlemania that had big numbers, that got a lot of eyeballs to the product. So much so, people that are not fans of wrestling but know that I'm a fan of wrestling have been calling me, talking about, hey, The Rock is doing something with wrestling again. It's that big of a deal to get the casual fan is always going to be, not the casual fan. The fan is always going to be there, but the casual fan and the person who isn't a fan, that's just a fan of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, their eyeballs are going to be turned to this because he's involved in something. That's IP, huge IP. But at the same time, just because your story or what you wish the outcome of the story that you've been paying attention to for years may not go the direction that you wanted to go, that doesn't mean that your fanaticism starts to become threatening to other people. Don't send death threats to his daughter. What are you thinking? That's the reason why people say wrestling fans are crazy, because of stuff like that. Absolutely. I'm at a loss for words when I read the article, to the point where she had to turn off her Twitter, had to turn off her Instagram, and he had to come out and say something. That's a bit ridiculous. But, back to Fandom, Wrestlemania is going to be pretty good. I'm excited for it. The Rock is back. If you haven't seen the press conference, go on YouTube, type in The Rock press conference Wrestlemania. Even if you don't like wrestling, the drama that was on that stage, hey, The Rock is not that bad of an actor. That's all I can say. The Rock isn't that bad of an actor. But for all those people out there that are going to be watching the Super Bowl, your team is going to lose, your team is going to win. Maybe you don't have a dog in the race. Don't act crazy out there. Just enjoy the game and enjoy the entertainment that's being presented to us from all different genres, whether it's television, whether it's movies, whether it's music. Just enjoy it. It doesn't have to be one way all the way to the right or one way all the way to the left. You can absolutely just fall in the middle and enjoy the ride. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/Unsolicited Perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.